Hello and welcome to The Regulars. I'm Stacey McGonigal.
My name's Jason DeRoss.
It's Friday. It's Friday.
Yay.
It's Friday, and
I should have put it.
I'm in an outfit that I think, with perspective, is killing it. I think up
Yeah,
close, questionable, is what I'm thinking.
It's one of the
What?
you're living my so this is a bit of a weird story, but like
Okay.
because it's just inside and I don't want to get too into it. But the other day I had to take a bunch of photos and I was made to get these clothes and I was like, oh man, this is not
Okay.
me. But then you take the pictures. It's like when you go to a commercial and then they put you in these clothes and you're like, I would never wear these. But then you
Oh,
see
yeah.
them and they pop on camera and you're like, oh, I see what they're like.
Oh,
For some
never.
reason, these weird clothes work online or whatever, or on camera.
I have to say that Claire and Shauna are really giving me some love right now that I'm letting land
Yeah.
in a really deep way. I forgot to put on mascara, and I honestly look like my eyes are being eaten by my face, but we're here. I'm taking it. I'm wearing a jean short as well, and yeah.
You're
Thank
fine.
you.
No one would have noticed. That's one of those things. Like
I know.
no one would have noticed.
I know, but my mom always gave me
You're
this
great.
terrible piece of advice as a child, where she said, "You just say what's bad about you first, so then you're scot free. No one has any ammo," which
Yeah,
really brings attention to things people aren't thinking about.
I think your mom raised Eminem as well, because isn't that the key? Just go into a rap battle and like take all the people power away by telling all the terrible things about yourself first.
Listen, I didn't watch 8 Mile, and I didn't not relate. Yeah, having sex in factories and stuff. You remember that
Yeah,
scene?
that's what that movie was about. It was factory sex.
You know what? It's really kind of pervy, like not to even jump back into celebrity crushes, but the amount of sex scenes I remember from movies, and like I have to make sure I'm in like the right company to be like, hey, remember when like they had sex in that movie? Such a boned up teen.
Uh, uh,
Yeah, like Walk to Remember when he blows on her shoulder when he gives her like the fake tattoo. Ooey, ooey.
I don't know what you're talking about, but that seems like that is reminiscent of a painting of a woman being gently kissed on the neck. An erotic paint by numbers.
I mean, I got to finish that erotic paint by numbers, Maybe I'm taking my time because I don't want it to end, but I don't know. We'll finish it.
This
one
is
day.
how a quarantine boned up Stacy spends her time painting paint by numbers of a man that you can't really see details of their faces or anything.
Yeah,
But
no.
you know that he's blowing on her neck or something.
I'm just loving my angle today for the podcast. I'm just a mess all around, but like it's just of my door. Hey, you guys fucking like it? You like entrances? So how is your Friday going? I have things I'd like to bring up, but I would love to hear how you're doing first.
It's going well.
You have a Caesar.
Mm-hmm. I have a Caesar. It is Friday. And then I thought, hey, how can I eat olives in the morning?
Why don't you text me ever and go, hey, are we for sure doing this?
Well, because we mentioned that we were going to do it. So I just figured I'll be ready if we're doing it.
What do we talk about on this podcast? Us never remembering yesterday. Not
I don't know. I don't remember.
I'm so warm. Ugh. I'm over it.
Is this your heart? Is this like a good Grinch thing? Your heart resizes?
No, I wish. I'm looking forward to the day, but no, I'm just
for some reason right now my child is watching The Grinch, and I'm like, it's not Christmas, but I'll go with it.
I think I've said this on the podcast before, but my mom, I think being annoyed for us like singing carols out of season, she said it's bad luck. Like she just made that up. So we couldn't watch like Christmas movies in the summer or sing carols.
My dad's thing was, if you're at a party and they offer cake, if you don't eat a slice of cake, it's bad luck.
That's
and
what my mom said too. Me too.
Okay, then it is a real thing, because now I've said it lately.
No,
like that was your dad fucking with you because you wanted cake. And
listen, you've met my mother. It's all fuckery. It's all lies.
But your mom and my dad, same fuckery.
Same fuckery. Hell yeah.
They just want cake.
Yeah. And you know what's crazy about when it's your birthday, you have to cut the cake. I remember being like, fuck this, it's my fucking birthday. Serve me.
I know there's so many rules to wishes. Like, you gotta close your eyes. You gotta do fucking like whatever.
Rules to wishes. It's true.
if you're at a wedding and you don't cut the cake, you're fucked. And if you see the bride, you're fucked. And guess what? If you get married in a full moon, you're fucked. Guess
Listen, I
what,
followed all
dude?
the
Your
rules. And
wedding, your marriage,
sometimes it
they're just like, it's just like your marriage is fucked.
100%. You know what? I used to be so naive and like see people married for so many years, and I was like, they found their soulmate. It's perfect. It's soulmate. You know, if anyone has been together more than a year, it's because they fucking fought for it. It's just like you're just climbing. It sounds so dark, but I think it's like that's why you should celebrate anniversaries. Like that's why it's like you should like stop everything and high five each other and go like, we survived a war because you're together.
Yeah, man. And like,
Yeah,
because I remember,
man.
well, I remember one of the first like couples that were like, when we used to snowboard and we had like a tight community or wherever, we had these two
Any
people that
moment
were
to
a bit-
bring this up.
any moment. But we had this couple that was older than us, and they were
Yeah.
like the snowboarding. It felt like the snowboarding mom and dad of the place, although they wouldn't want to hear that because they were probably 19 at the time and we were probably 15.
You're like, hey, grandma,
like-
grandpa.
I know, but like, and we're like, oh, good, they're gonna be together forever for sure. And then they divorced, and I was like, I guess
Yeah.
they're more than 19 because I think they're married. But then they broke up. I was like, that can't happen.
I
You
know.
guys are the snowboard mom and dad. That don't happen.
And they were like, listen, yeah, it's done.
In reality, they were probably like 2 years older than me, and they were, you know.
It's just like, it's just a lot of work, you know? It's just a lot of work.
Yeah. That's why I
Yeah.
think sometimes when I see the people that are just like, not fighting, but you're just like, oh, they don't look like they're in love. But then you're like, well, that's the people that are actually in love. They can just be themselves completely and fully in front of each other.
Oh my God. I mean, have you ever? No. You know, I'm still lying to my therapist, you know? It's like, in what world?
You're not in love with your therapist.
I am. I adore her. So this is a quick turn of conversation, but Shayla says annoying the F out of each other is true love. It's true.
I had to tell, look, man, you know, I went to a therapist for a short period of time.
I keep telling you to give her a call.
I know. And I did tell her at one point, I was like, I think I define love by this first couple that I don't even know who they are.
Snowboard mom and dad?
No. My mom and dad are great.
Oh, I said
but, like,
snowboard mom
hanging out
and
in
dad.
high school, and you're like, oh my God, that couple is the couple.
I know.
And I don't remember why we were with these people. I don't know who they are, but I saw these couple, and they were just like making fun of each other, and it was like terrible. But at the same time, I was like, but they're in love. Like that. That's a terrible way to explain it, but it was just like,
Oh yeah.
they seemed like a Mick and Mallory sort of like
What? What the fuck
Sid
is-
and Nancy sort of
That's
thing.
not
And you're
great.
like,
That didn't end great. That didn't
it
end
didn't
great.
end great, but it ended like Romeo and Juliet, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but Romeo and Juliet, like she was alive. Like if there was email or phones, like
But then she killed herself.
well, classic.
Spoiler alert for
Spoiler
anybody
alert.
that hasn't seen the movie Romeo and Juliet.
The play or read the.
I heard it's a book. Yeah.
I've heard it's a book. I thought it was about a magician until halfway through. Honestly, the movie with Claire Danes and
Mick and Mallory.
I don't even know what you're talking about. Wait, Claire
Mick and
says,
Mallory
I
is
told my
Family
husband.
Ties.
Oh my God. Claire says, I told my husband before we started dating that if he didn't have a good enough reason to not date me, then we should just date. I've kept that energy throughout the whole relationship. Claire, that's so smart. And that's like, you're just like, why not?
That's so smart, except then you're like, I just couldn't think of anything at the time, so I
yeah,
guess I'm
but
dating her
they're
now, guys.
married now. I think that's amazing. You know how
I
many
think
people?
it's great. I still think it's very funny to go back to your friends and be like, so she said if I couldn't think of a reason quick enough that we're dating, and I was like, I got stumped.
Do you know how
I mean,
many?
I was high. I couldn't think of anything.
I
And,
couldn't
Now we're
imagine.
married.
I couldn't imagine. Like, I don't even think I've ever told anyone I liked them. Like, I don't think. I don't like.
This could be like. I just like you. I don't love you.
This could be like we're breaking up. You're feeling it too, right? Jason and I had a sketch to give quick backstory that never worked, but we thought it was the funniest thing that we'd
I
ever
thought
done.
it worked. Stacey thought it didn't work.
No, because
I
you
loved
never
it.
gave energy in the song. So basically, Jason would sing the song from Dirty Dancing, and at the end when it goes, "This could be love," Because, right? He would go, this could
Well, it would
be
start off because I'd be
like,
like, "That was a crazy night, eh?"
and I was like,
Anyways,
yeah, it was
we
amazing.
were in the cubicles together or whatever.
Well, we thought it was the cubicles, but it was improv, so it was just me sitting on a fucking chair. And then
I
Jason would
just wanted
sing.
to come over and tell you,
Uh,
I had. Let me finish this. See, I think it worked.
I just choked on my coffee.
I practiced before I came over.
Jason, okay, my favorite joke that Jason does is he, you interrupt him and then he's staunchly against the interruption. So if he's like, hey, yeah, totally. Can you just, I just I can't have you talking to me. Anyways, no one cares in the chat that you
That's
had to have
chapter
seen
3
it.
of my comedy book.
Yeah. Our comedy book. That's what we should do. We should do a coffee table comedy book.
But it's gonna be like Steve Carell. It's gonna be Michael Scott in the office writing his business book, like chapter 6, gum. The guy who has gum
Gum.
wins or something like that.
Yeah,
whatever it
totally.
was.
I think we should. But I don't think I've ever told someone first that I liked them. Like, I think that I still operate in a high school level of maturity when it comes to dating.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah. Like, you know when people are like,
So someone goes,
like me or
"You
not,
know
I don't
what?
care. My life
I
will
like
move
you."
on.
And
Yeah.
So when someone tells you like, you go, "Oh yeah, I guess this is what like is." Yeah, I like you too.
Or someone goes, I like you. And I go, well, I guess we're dating now because that seems,
I mean, I'm wearing your jacket with the letter on it.
it
That's
seems
dating.
impossible that you would see the fuckery that is this and be into it. So I guess we're dating. Sure. I've never been like, hey, Tom, I really like you. Never. I think we should go to the movies. Never. I wish I was that woman. I'm not.
Do you know what the funny thing is? I was dating this girl in high school,
Brag.
and might have even been just after high school, but it was like our high school group. And this is I think it was the same trip that I told you about where we like flipped a coin. We wanted to flip a coin. All the guys were going on this thing. We like, we'll go left or right depending on the coin.
Oh, right.
And
right.
then our girlfriends got involved and they were like, we're planning this shit. And then, so we got a place and then we get to like this big cottage that we rented out together.
Uh-huh.
And I was with my girlfriend at the time. But
Keep
she walked in
bragging
there
about
and she
that.
walked up to the biggest room. She goes, "This is Jason and my room." And that's that. And I was like, I like you.
Oh, you liking people telling you what to do? Kel Surprise.
But also like telling everybody else, this is our room. We're a couple.
You like a strong woman.
I guess. And I didn't know that.
Janelle says, I asked someone at once in high school and it was the scariest thing that ever happened. And even though they agreed, I vowed to never do it again.
Have you stuck to your vows? Have you stuck to your vows?
Janelle, have you stuck to the vows? Let us know, Janelle. Yeah, no, Jameson, Tom, he's married, Stacy. Oh my God, Tom Segura. I can't even believe how deep the crush is already for me.
I know, but you knew he was married.
I knew from the get-go, but I was like, you know, I'm still just, I have to let it land.
Snake King, man, that's not going to work.
Give constant stares and hope they can read your mind. Listen, that was me in high school. I was like, well, I looked at him for like an hour. It's clear.
I know. Wait a minute. Did you look for him when you guys were out for dinner or something? Oh, no, he doesn't know me.
No, he
I just
doesn't
stared
know.
at him from across the hallway for an hour.
I think he like felt. I think he just like felt. He felt. If you know what, if you know, then you know. He felt. I once thought this like hot guy in like, he was in a band in high school and it was like terrible, but I like forced myself to like enjoy it. But I went to a band show and just really intently stared at him during the band show, and I was convinced he was staring back at me. A crowd of people, convinced.
And it's a concert. Let me tell you, I don't know this band. I don't know what you're talking about.
It was a high school
like,
band, so I think it's disrespectful to people who actually do concerts to call what that was a concert. It was a broken down barn.
I still bet you there was at least one other lady in there giving the exact same stares and thinking the same thing.
Did I ever tell you that the hot guy from my high school I bumped into, and he said I was like really pretty in high school? Like he was like, "You were great. What are you talking about? You're awesome." And I was like, "I was." Like back to teen Stacy. I was like, "What? Describe. What did you like about me?"
If I only had a time machine, I'd go back right now and just exactly what
Oh
I would
my
do.
gosh. Wake up in 2005. Wake up in 2005. I wasn't even in high school in 2005. Or no, I was. Oof.
You were in high school in 2005?
Yeah.
We shouldn't be talking.
I know, because we're 10 years. There's 10 years separating us.
At least.
At least. But not emotionally. That's the thing. That's why we're friends, because
Emotionally, we're timeless.
timeless. Oh my God. I'm just exhausted. I was born and I was like, fucking Christ. I was like, what's going on?
Show me something new.
We got to call State Farm, you guys. I wasn't class of 05. I was class of 08. No. What
From
was
high
it?
school?
No, I graduated high school in 2004, and then I was in university. Oh my God, the years. I can't remember anything. I'm 34.
So when the planes hit, you were in high school.
Okay, I was science class. You know what? I was hanging out with some gal pals doing a social distance hang, and we were talking about all of our old teachers, like from high school. And oof, you forget about teachers and then you just remember, and like it was just such a fun. Because one of my first science teacher ended up being my volleyball coach, and then he I think I broke him. We've already talked about this on the podcast many times.
Yeah,
but
we broke some teachers.
Pushing them to the
And that's
point,
fair.
like it was fair. And I don't,
Love teachers. Thank you, Audrey.
thank
for
you.
All of your
She's such an
tireless
amazing
work.
educator. She's not on the pod today. She's swimming, but I'm gonna forget and I'm gonna be upset. So Audrey, my wonderful friend of many, 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 many years, came over and gave me a couple of gifts. That to lift spirits, and I'm going to show you them. And one of them she gave, but I'm going to be this gift is going to be a gift for Jason.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the first
now
gift.
we're talking.
This is the first gift that she gave me. Okay. It's a mug that says "Big Dick Energy."
Do you know why I could not own that mug?
With what are these called?
Brass knuckles.
Brass knuckles attached.
But you hold it the other way. You put because you hold on to it like that.
Like this?
Yeah, because then you hit somebody with it, and it doesn't. It keeps your hands so you don't break your knuckles or anything.
Now, this in my home tracks.
My problem is I would definitely punch a wall. I'd be wearing them. And I'd be like, oh, this feels so good. And I'd punch a wall with the mug still attached, and it would bust up.
I can tell you it's not that comfortable, but it makes me laugh a lot. A lot.
Yeah, we can tell.
Now, the next thing that was brought to my house that I knew I would have to give to my dear bestest pal is I heard that you needed a big mug, and I found one.
Big mugs. What is that?
It says, "Let that shit go."
Buddha.
Look how big this mug is. I don't know if you can.
It's perfect.
It's coming your way. I'm wrapping it in love. And this will be
Don't.
shipped
It's
to
gonna
us.
break.
No.
That's why. That's what happens with traveling mugs.
No, this is gonna be fine. It's quite thick. I don't think this will ever break.
You don't know. My blue mug was unbreakable.
Let that shit
until
go.
It broke.
Let that shit go. These mugs are amazing. Such a mom mug. Okay, you know what? Guess who was up early doing your lunches? Me. Okay. I'm going to go walk the family dog. That seems to be my dog now. All right? When you like woke up and your mom was already pissed and you're like running against the day. She's just already so mad.
Yeah.
What did we do?
I for sure had the classic dad that would list all the things he'd already done before you got
Oh
up.
yeah. And it's like, cool. I don't know. Who cares? Anyways, I just thought, let that shit. We just have to let that shit go.
Let that shit go.
I love dumb mugs. If you're in the chat and you need a laugh, share us your dumb mug. That doesn't make sense. I'm having a stroke.
No, I love it because like I was looking at mugs today and I was like, I'm just gonna have the same old mug again. Like,
I know I have the same one.
by the way, original Tim Hortons. That's where this mug came from.
That's
The
amazing. I
original
want
Tim
one.
Hortons. It's not mine. It's my wife's. She was very excited about it.
That's really nice. So I watched something last night, bit spooky, and you know that I don't like spooky things, but now I'm obsessed and I will be watching all of it, and it is Unsolved Mysteries.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
But this is like from the 90s, right? Like that's not a new one.
Kayla says she's still waiting for allegedly mug. Sorry about that.
Oh
I
my
feel like the
God.
shipping is taking forever.
Oh
I can look into
no.
it, but I think mine took forever too because of the pandemic.
I think it's a cross border thing. Kayla, I imagine then Kayla's in Canada.
Kayla, are you in Canada? Let us know.
I only say that because like me and Stacey ordered some stuff at the same time, and this baby came almost instantly.
Yeah, it took a
But
bit.
Stacey's was
It took a bit.
some behind.
And there's gonna be some updates to the merch. So
Oh, I was wrong. Kramer said so. This is new. This is new Unsolved Mysteries. This isn't like the original like flashback to
No,
the
it's-
80s or 90s.
it's like a new bunch of
Unsolved Mysteries.
Yeah, and let me tell
I
you.
love Unsolved Mysteries.
Can I tell you how?
Until you get to the end, you're like, well, now let's fucking solve it. And then
Thank
there's
you.
no
I was just
solution.
gonna say that. So this is how stupid I am. This is classic McGonagall, David Copperfield, right? I'm watching the first one and I'm like, give me a fucking update. You know,
I want you to read Lovely Odessa, what you just put in the chat.
Lovely Odyssey. I've been watching all the old ones, and the best part is that they have a resolution. I can't watch the new ones knowing there isn't an answer. I agreed.
Let's go back to the old ones and we'll watch them.
The first episode, okay, obviously, and here's the thing, we can talk about it because there's no spoilers. The first one was wild. I think I'm gonna watch Unsolved Mysteries in the day because I simply and utterly
got
cannot.
scared.
Oh my God, I was so scared, Jason, last night sleeping. And I don't have the dogs right now, so I was just like,
Yeah.
spooky. Spooked.
Yeah, and sometimes you have a man show up
What?
at the end of your bed. You're just
My
guiding
spirit guide. I was like, and also, did I ever tell you about like when my toilet broke and the plumbers were in and they kept using my back door and I had to like fully like be an adult, and I was like, I don't think that's appropriate and you need to stop coming in here. And he was like, agreed. I never wanted to come in here. I was like, well, you keep doing it. Instead of being like, thanks for helping me with the toilet. I really appreciate it.
Look, I don't know. I think this is a boring story, but it connects to yours so well.
What?
Because so we've, for the entire COVID-19 experience,
Yeah.
we've not had anybody in our house, obviously, because we're locking down.
Right.
So masks and everything. So a few things went wrong in our bathroom. We're like, do we call the plumber? Like, what do we do? And we're like, no, we just gotta like, I'll duct tape it up and things. So whatever.
Okay.
Because we'd rather that than nothing's been too bad where it's like, oh, we need to call someone in. But then the thing on our it's called a diverter, the thing that you pull from your shower to make a shower to a bathtub, it just went whoop and it came right out. And we're like, well, now we can't have showers. So we had to call someone. And we're like, we'll just give him the list of everything that has gone wrong. He showed up at like 10 p.m. and then he got this snake out that's a drill thing to undrain stuff. He's like, I'll do this too. And all of a sudden he drilled a hole in our sink, and then the water, all this black sludge went and covered our bathroom floor. And we're like, perfect. Right in the middle of a pandemic, we're finally letting somebody in, and like our floor is covered in sludge. And he goes, I'll be back tomorrow. Like, clean it up, man. Like, what's happening here?
The guy who changed my toilet literally left like toilet water all over my house. He's like, thanks for everything. And I was like, so I have to clean up whatever the fuck this is?
Well, I had to pee in the corner. Your toilet was broken.
He goes, no, did I ever tell you the toilet story? First of all,
Let's hear it.
he
I
goes,
won't remember it. You've probably told me 3 times.
probably.
I don't know.
I've probably, yeah. I can't even believe I remembered it got replaced.
We don't do reruns. We just tell the same stories over and over again.
That's my dad. I'm turning into my dad. He'll be like half cut in the backyard. Go, stop me if I told this before. And we're like, you told it before. He goes, so there I am. He doesn't care. Just telling us the story again.
Loaded Rogue?
You want a loaded rogue bed? But so I got my toilet replaced, and he goes, this is the oldest toilet I've ever worked with. Right? I was like, cool. He replaces the toilet. And then he goes,
Is that in a cool way? Wait, is that in a cool way? It's like some antique killer toilet?
he was like, this is the oldest toilet. Like, I can't
That
even
might
believe
be a
it.
cool thing.
I don't think in the business of plumbing that you want to be messing around with a vintage toilet. And he goes, hey, so he cleans it or he fixes it up and he kind of mops sloppily. Like he leaves the sludge, right? Like, kind of moves it around. And then he goes, hey, do you, what if I use the bathroom? I go, what? I was like, you're going to use the toilet first. you're gonna use it in my bathroom?
Maybe that's what he likes to do. Like maybe that's why I got into this thing.
Christens
I just
it.
like to break into a new. I like to break the new toilet, man.
Nothing beats just like your bare ass and a cool, clean toilet seat.
I've been chasing the dragon ever since the first one.
I let him do it. I just couldn't believe it. I was like, a new toilet. I don't even need to get.
Fresh toilet smell.
Ew.
That's like baked bread on a fucking summer day.
Okay,
Baby.
we're saying so many F bombs today. Good thing we're not monetized. Jameson has actually a terrible toilet story. I believe, if I can say it, Jameson, you let me know if you want to share it, but it was pretty brutal. It sucks. Or like when you turn on your faucet and there's just no water and your landlord's like, yeah, we got to figure it out. It's like, so I guess I'm what? I'll go for it. I believe, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, I think he didn't have a toilet for like 3 days or like 2 days or something.
Wow.
It's like, what do you do?
Yeah. We had none for like a couple hours.
So what'd you do?
Because of the guy that had to come in and
You
fix it.
peed
like,
in the bath. You stood in your
what's
bathtub.
that?
Did you stand in your bathtub and peed on the thing?
No, I'm just saying it because we had a guy come in. We only have one bathroom.
I know. So where did you
while
go
he was
pee?
here for the few hours, we're like, and he shut the water off. We're like, well, we don't have a bathroom for the next few hours, and we got a 4-year-old running around.
What'd you do?
Hope.
He pooed in the sink.
No, we're all camels apparently, and I'm not.
That's the time to be. Jameson, yeah, he didn't have a toilet for 2.5 days. I really don't know what you do. And during a pandemic, it's not like you can like run to a store.
That's the problem.
What are you gonna do? And also, there's nothing grosser when you just have to use a bathroom and you're like, hi, I'll buy anything. Like, you're such a gross human being.
That's me completely. Like, again, walking around with Adam Colley around the city is like, he'll just go, I'm just going to use that washroom. And I'm like, okay.
What? He goes in.
I can't do that. He's like, just walk in like you're supposed to be there. And I'm like,
no.
I don't think I'm supposed to be anywhere. So I can't walk in anywhere like I'm supposed to be there.
Oh, Jameson, he says I took it very easy on the coffee. Ew.
He's not wrong. I did not drink coffee yesterday and fully knowing I was like, I'm not having any.
I vividly remember like my mother running into a Tim Hortons and going, I'll get coffee when I get back. Like just having to just like blow ass.
That's me, except I will 100% do that. I will make sure I'll be like, I'll buy that. I'll have some Timbits. I wasn't going to do this.
I love Timbits.
Yeah. Tasha and me, same.
I'll easily listen. I'm buying whatever. I'll just do it.
Yeah. Can I use your guys' restroom? We got to buy something. This is a car dealership. Yeah.
Okay. Freshener.
I come home with another car. My wife's like, what the fuck are you doing?
I also love that you're just like, hey, can I use you guys's? Can I use you guys'
restroom?
Hey, can I use you guys' bathroom? Please? Yeah.
This is Lamborghini of Beverly Hills. Whoa, must be nice bathrooms.
This is Lamborghini of Beverly Hills. I don't even care about cars. You know what my ideal car is? And I really want to buy one right now? A Fiat.
What?
I just want a little Fiat.
Don't. Look, man, if they're going to sponsor us, do it like crazy. But that's the car we almost bought. And then I looked it up and it's like,
what?
Don't.
Why?
They're just not rated very well for a lot of different reasons.
Why?
I don't know. It's something, but they don't turn very well. They're a small little car. They're not very stable. I don't know. See, Snake King knows. I feel like Snake King knows more about cars than the both of us.
I just want a cute little car. Like I've had cars.
I wanted the Fiat. We literally had one being delivered to our house to test drive it the next day after we bought our car. But then we bought the car and we called them and canceled it because I was like, that's my car. They look awesome.
They're really cool.
But then I read about it. I was like, oh, you can't.
Maybe I'll get like a little Austin Mini or something.
Cool.
Janelle's right. I also love people giving
most of my life.
I love this chat for this reason that right now our chat is like helping each other, being like, you know, where's a great bathroom? Hotels are a great place to find a bathroom. Like Janelle, yes.
Of course.
They're not going to stop you. There's always a one in the lobby. It's so true.
Don't think that I have not used hotel.
Of course.
Restrooms for sure.
That's where I saw Diane.
And I'm still like, can I just stay? I'll buy a room for the night. Like, no problem.
Do you ever do that? Honestly, one of my favorite things to do is a staycation. Just go to a hotel.
Yeah. I haven't done it, but I know this is something you love to do.
Love, miss it, need it. So, but anyways, I love a little Fiat, and I really, really want one. But
I always wanted. Do you know what a Vanagon is?
What?
A Vanagon?
No.
those old Volkswagens from like the 70s that like you'd
Oh,
see like
yes.
surfer dudes going in. You're like, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
hell
the
yeah.
car,
I
man.
just want a little car because there's nothing more stressful than parking. I remember living in LA and I decided I was going to take myself out on a date. And then I had to drive home because I couldn't park anywhere. The movie theater was full. I went to 2 movie theaters, one independent one, couldn't find street parking, couldn't find main parking, couldn't find parking near the sushi restaurant. I just was like,
This
I'm
is in
going
LA,
home.
obviously, right?
Yeah, I went home.
Yeah.
Jameson says he rented one once and it was the best. Is this the Fiat or the Volkswagen? So let us know because I don't know what he's talking about.
Oh, I was hoping it was the van again, and I was like, how does the sunroof? Anyways, but yeah, he's obviously talking about something else.
Mm.
Uh,
Do you have any
you know what I
plans?
started to look into yesterday?
What?
I don't know why I'm telling you this, but I was like, this is the best time to do this.
I got a text.
Is drive-in movies. Go to a drive-in right now.
Oh my God. But how am I
Social-
going to go? On my Fiat?
Yeah. Rent a Fiat, go to the dealership, completely pandemic free, and then go to a drive-in.
Would that be sad if you just saw me by myself, just like slamming snacks in a little Fiat at a drive-in?
It's gonna be awesome.
Burgers in the front seat. Like, Vic's like, oh, can we watch something more refined? We're watching like Jackass 3D. Well, yeah, maybe I'll do that. That will be fun. I can't believe that we jumped over my Unsolved Mystery review like so fast. Like I thought that you would be more into it.
I am into it, but the thing is, because I saw also that we put it's on Amazon Prime, so
No,
I'm
it's on
gonna be
Netflix.
watching it.
No, it's on Netflix. The new one.
No, sorry, the original ones.
No, I'm talking
are-
about the new one.
I know you're talking about the new ones, but then we started talking about. I'm going right back into the conversation. The old ones already have resolutions, which would be exciting, but the new ones are going to be. I'm going to be punching myself by the end of the night.
If anyone owned or if anyone watched the Unsolved Mysteries on Netflix, the new one, please let me know in the chat because I would like to unpack it. James says that his family owned. What is that? A Westphalia.
That's the Vanagon.
Oh, it was nuts.
What he's talking about is like Jameson. Anything that we bring up, he's done it already in life.
I know. Like, what's something he hopes to accomplish in the future?
He's already accomplished it all.
Yeah, like just tell us, Jameson. We'd like to know what's future plans here.
Yeah, we're gonna think it into existence for you, pal.
Yeah, yeah, and so then you can obtain the knowledge. He knows
And don't-
everything.
He's gonna say something, and we're gonna go, "Oh, yeah, that's
Like
pretty awesome."
you and I together. Like if anyone needed anything from us, we'd be like, I don't know. Hey man,
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm sorry, dude. We don't know. And then Jameson
I
comes.
get these
in.
questions all the time. My wife constantly is like, "What's wrong?"
I don't know.
Nothing. I don't know.
Jameson,
This conversation is all I
multiple
got.
revenue streams. Thank you. That's what I'm looking for as well. And a million blessings. Stacey gets rich. It's coming. It's coming. It's currently being produced. It's really tough. Multiple revenue streams is really difficult. It just is. I hate to break
Well, it
to everyone.
depends. I mean, that's a big term, but like, what if multiple revenue streams is like, I got a paper route and I
Yeah,
got
That's a revenue stream.
100%. But how about just wishing for one massive revenue stream?
No, because that's putting
Like
all
just
your
Jeff
eggs.
Bezos doesn't need
No.
multiple revenue
He
streams.
does have multiple revenue streams. He owns a newspaper.
But he doesn't need them. He just needs the one. He's just like, great, I own Amazon.
Yeah,
I'm
but
good.
Amazon is multiple revenue streams because it's like of all the things you can buy. So it's not like you're like, I sell sneakers. That's my main revenue stream. Because then guess what? If people don't need sneakers, like you're out. But if you are, it's kind of just like putting multiple eggs in multiple baskets.
Well, now we're just going to debate what the definition of multiple revenue streams is.
We're not going to debate because I know.
Facts are weird.
Shayla, all your rods
All-
in one. Well,
yeah, man, but all your
rods
rods in
and
one
pods.
pod, that's one revenue stream.
It was rods and pods.
But if there's lots of pods, lots of rods,
Yeah, but you don't have
that's
any.
multiple
You
revenue
have
streams.
you have one pod if.
I have one pod. It's this pod.
True. And it's great. And I'm happy I'm here. But multiple revenue streams is important. It's hard to manage. And let me tell you, I'm dipping a toe and it's a lot of work. But I'm
Why
hoping
is
I'm
it important?
multiple. First of all, I'm stuttering like crazy the last 3 days. Multiple
I'm asking you this
revenue
because what if,
streams.
like, you know, are we gonna say that to like a guy who's just a lawyer and he goes home and he's like, I'm rich, like I'm fine. I'm like, yeah, you're fine. One revenue stream, you good.
Yeah, but like look at like I guess like we're freelance artists. Womp
Yeah.
womp. And
Multiple revenue stream. We already have multiple revenue streams. Just those revenues are like they're a trickle of a creek, you know?
I'm really Do you have any other metaphors to describe it?
Like
Trickle in a creek?
river.
It's a river?
A tiny drip from a tap.
Sometimes it feels that way.
It's all just water based.
Yeah, we're just waiting for Hollywood to just open up the tap, you know? Let her rip.
Niagara Falls of fucking movies. You know what I mean?
Wow. A lot of F-bombs today. Yeah, no, I think multiple revenue streams is really smart. And but it's also like you can have multiple revenue streams these days, so why wouldn't we? If you wanted to put the effort and time into them, which is like so it's like
we have to change like like you have to search by category for podcasts. We have to change this one from comedy to business.
Happily. I would happily talk about business all of the time. I love it.
Multiple revenue streams. We'll just say it a bunch and then it'll automatically just change to business.
But just think about it. Like I've been just perusing Pinterest. There's so many blogs, so many people making money like just because they were, a blog post they wrote in 2016 can still be making the money. Like that's amazing. Think about it.
Yeah.
Set it and forget it.
And that person is just sitting on a beach somewhere with their hands behind their head, having a good life. But get off the beach. They're closed right now.
Someone just said, Stacey, you may want to fix your bun. It's gotten messy.
I think that's the first thing that D&D Master has ever put.
And I'm leaving it. If you want to know where I'm emotionally...
I don't want to detract people that are maybe a little nervous from jumping in the chat, dipping their toe in that pool for the first time. Very, very fun.
Listen, get in the chat. I'm not offended. I mean, this is just it. That's what I said.
I love D&D Master. I mean, old Potato Dave's fucking ready to go.
Yeah, Sharon's ready. Like, I'm saying that my look from afar is it. Up close, you're allowed to ask questions, baby. I welcome them.
We were talking at one point of doing D&D on here.
Yeah. We gotta lock in Nigel.
And Nigel will be back on Wednesday.
He's back Wednesday. I think that we should talk about it and set it up.
Is it Nigel or is it Black Ron on Wednesday then? We're gonna find out.
We'll find out. He'll tell us. But we should have a little game. That'd be fun. You know what I mean? And I can guarantee when I play, what I'm gonna bring.
In grade 8 a long time ago.
This is Sharon's energy. A lot of just brute force with no skill. That's my girl. Okay,
I played once in grade 8, so this is all going to be like new and fun for me. I'm well on board.
Great. It's going to be fantastic. Do you have any plans this weekend?
Because all it is you make up the story as you go, right?
Listen,
like
you're telling I can't even talk. You're telling me things that I'm already playing D&D. I already know.
No, I think I'm making a statement in the form of I'm making a question in the form of a statement.
I thought you were going to say a croissant. Yeah. Do you have any plans this weekend? This is Friday after all.
It's a weekend.
I know.
Yeah. I mean, I should. It's July 4th down here. I don't know what that means, especially right now in the pandemic and where people's heads are at with like everything. So I don't know, but I don't know. There's going to be, we're meeting up with friends for a socially distanced picnic
that nice.
Have a kid the same age as Charlie. So I'm going to have Charlie on a leash and they'll have his kid on a leash and we'll figure it out.
Literally?
We won't really have them on a leash, but it's hard to keep like kids from running up and tackling each other. So it's like, well, we got to keep them apart, but.
Oh my gosh. That's like two dogs going, don't go and smell them.
Yeah. So that's going to be fun. Other than that, here's the thing. I don't know if I should put this out there. I'm going to put this out there. I'm dying. My bike is stuck in Canada and I'm dying to get a bike here. I'm going to this weekend. That's why I'm bringing it up this weekend.
Okay.
I'm throwing all that. I'm just like, okay, let it go. The bike you love is left back home. I'm buying a bike.
Great.
So that's what I'm doing this weekend. I'm going to try it.
Sure.
And I'm going to be scared shitless because I don't want to walk into a bike shop right now. I'm avoiding everything.
Well, why can't you order one online? Why can't you just order the bike you have?
That's like saying to Stacey, why can't you just order your clothes online?
I do order my clothes online now. And I have two pairs of shorts.
And you hate it.
Yeah. I don't enjoy the process.
Yeah. I could order it online, but
why don't you just order the same bike?
It was too expensive. I went all out before I left.
Okay.
And now that's why I wanted to bring it down. I'm like, anyways,
Wow.
this is just
a real
this is just Stacey
conversation.
and I fighting at this point. So
Well, I'm gonna go for bike ride for sure. Pello and Real, and probably watch some unsolved mysteries and be very frustrated that there's no solution or resolution. The one episode, I have to get it out. I have to talk about it because
yeah, please.
I'm gonna force the
yeah,
issue. Um,
let's
this
go.
one
I need to
guy.
know this.
So this guy is married, and he wanted to be a screenwriter.
I
Okay.
can already tell you the mystery. It's over. He ran away. He's in LA trying to become a screenwriter, and he didn't want to tell her.
No. So he has this friend who's like a finance guy, and he's like his best friend, and he wanted him to write finance reports for him. And the screenwriting biz, Kelsey Priest in LA, wasn't going great. So him and his wife moved to Baltimore, and he starts writing this finance newsletter. And then his wife goes away for business for a couple of days. She says she has a business colleague staying at the house with her husband.
But also, like, what's here's the thought process is weird. It's like this next finance report is going to be my big break into like movie writing.
No,
like,
he just was like, I need to make money and I need to move on with my life. Like he was like loved movies so
he's
much.
giving
But,
the dream up.
well, he hasn't officially given it up, but they said to each other they were going to spend 2 years in Baltimore, and so they could.
See.
And so he was working for this finance thing. One day, he gets a call, and he's like, "What? Huh?" Phone takes his
Hollywood.
phone. Hollywood calls. He runs out the door. Never seen again.
It's Hollywood.
No, because guess what? They find like days later, there's near the Belvedere Hotel, which is where his finance company was, like across the street from it. Like there's a hole. Like there's just a weird hole with like flip flops, and they investigate this weird open room in the Belvedere Hotel, and that's where his body was found, like crumpled. And they were like, "Oh, he killed himself," and everyone's like, "That's impossible." Like, and then the coroner was like, "There's no way," and so everyone was like, "No," and the cops were like, "He killed himself. That's it. You have to deal with it. You have to accept the fact he killed himself." And everyone's like, "That? How would that little hole? It was like a hole just enough for a body to like go through." There's so many like weird things. And then they found his cell phone, his flip flops, and his glasses near the hole. None were broken. None were smashed.
It sounds like one of those like there's a puddle of water in the room, and there's a person, and then
What?
Glory is dead on the ground.
None of
How
what
did
you
Gloria
said makes
die?
sense. None of what you said makes sense.
One of those reels, you know what I'm talking
But
about.
then here's what's crazy. His best friend who got him the job, he puts a gag order on everyone at his company so no one can talk to the police. And he never talks to the police. He doesn't talk to Unsolved Mysteries, and he doesn't talk to the family again.
I knew it. He didn't move down there to write finance reports. It's something completely different. And thank you, Jameson. And you'd think it's a nice girl death, but what it is, Glory's a fish.
You're
The
being
ball broke.
annoying because this is real people, and I need an answer.
I'm going to tell you the answer. The answer is he was not in the finance report business at all.
Yeah, there was something shady, right?
There was something going on because like he gets a phone call and then he's like, "Peace out. I'm going to be right back. I'm not
I
telling you
know,
what's going on."
but there seemed in that first
It's
episode.
also though like if you watch like Making a Murderer or anything like that, and Making a Murderer was great, but you
Sure.
knew when you were watching it, they're bending the story this way and this way to make you think, is he guilty? Is he not guilty? But like if
Sorry.
you were actually there and they just were like, here's
No,
the case,
okay,
you'd be like, oh, that guy was guilty. For
I'm
sure was
telling
guilty.
you, that there's a lot more that they're not saying. So like near the end of the first episode, and if anyone's watched it, please let me know in the chat. But his wife was like, "Oh yeah, like 2 days before his death or a couple days before his death, at 1 a.m. their alarm would go off." And she's like, and she's like, "I ran down the stairs and I turned around and there was my husband like with a bat, and he looked so scared and it was terrifying." She's like, "My husband wasn't scared of anything." So I'm like, well, then dirty dealings were afoot.
Yeah.
And then she's looking around
You know
his
what? Normal
office.
people are scared of things.
Yeah, and then guess what? She's looking around his office. She's like, "I'm gonna figure this out," and she finds this letter taped against the wall behind his desk, and it's
Also,
cryptic.
Baltimore, very close to Washington, D.C., just a stone's throw away. Maybe it was government related.
Fine. When you follow the money, where does it go?
All the money. This guy was part of the family. Okay.
You're really
You watched the
frustrated.
documentary. I think it's called The Family.
I have watched The Family. Of course, I watched The Family. It's
Not
whatever.
done. It's the most boring documentary,
Boring.
but the information in it is actually like a little chilling.
You need to watch this first episode of Unsolved
will.
Mysteries. Actually, we should
Except
just.
I'll probably watch all the other ones on Amazon Prime first because they have answers.
But why? Okay, I need you to watch the new one with me so we can recap it on this podcast when we catch up. Because I need to know people's opinions on it.
Fun.
Thank you.
So you know what I'm doing this weekend?
What?
I'm gonna watch the first episode of Unsolved Mysteries.
So frustrating. I can't. Jeez Louise. No, but it was like, but I will tell you at the end, I was like, you didn't solve it? Like, I thought there was no future steps. Like, they weren't like, hey, the case has been reopened and there's a new cop or blah, blah, blah leading the charge. Like, none of that. There was nothing at all.
I also wonder how they find these because, like, so when I was a kid, there was this commercial on all the time for Time Life books.
Yeah.
And if you don't know what Time Life books is, it was the exact same thing. It was all these weird happenings, and they'd be like, how did this happen?
Right.
And the commercial would be like, two sisters. One lives in Wyoming, the other's in California. Sister Lilia was gardening, and all of a sudden went, I've got a cramp in my hand.
Wait. Who's Lilia?
She's in Wyoming. Ooh, I got a cramp in my hand. But Deborah in California.
Why does she have a cramp in her hand?
Because Deborah in California just had placed her hand on a hot pot. Ow. And she felt it in Wyoming. And I was like, okay, first there's this fucking like twin thing going on or whatever. But I'm like, how does Time Life have this information? Who goes, oh my God, I got a cramp in my hand. I better call my fucking sister. We'll figure it. It's the exact same time. And then on top of that, we'll call
they're
Time
sisters.
Life books to tell them about this.
In your story, it was unclear that they were sisters. And it also kind of sounded like you were.
It doesn't matter if they're sisters or not. That's not the point.
I'm just saying that, Kayla, this reminds me of Barbara Somerville, which we have to do.
I gotta get my glasses.
And also, it sounded like you were about to start scatting when you said that story.
They also, but in that same commercial, it was like, Tom, on a flight, a business trip.
Who's Tom?
To Sarasota, Florida. Just about to get on the plane, but he turns around. Doesn't know why. That plane crashed. I'm like, who the fuck knows these things? Why does Time Life book have these? This is just made up shit. That's why I'm like, how does Unsolved Mysteries, who goes out and scouts these things out and finds the case about a hole in the ground?
I bet you there's
some guy with his sandals and a BlackBerry phone left at the side.
I never said BlackBerry.
Phone.
No, it was a flip.
BlackBerry
it was a flip phone. The wife has all the items.
It's a flip phone?
It was in the 90s. It was in 97.
Oh, and see what I'm talking about? And now they're just talking about it? Look, if they haven't
They've
solved
been
this one yet, this
talking
one's
about
never
it.
getting solved.
I think that they have researchers that it's just weird that here's what was weird about this particular unsolved mystery is that they were like, the guy put a gag order on this is what the detective said. This guy puts a gag order on his entire company, and he's like, and I'm just a detective. I was like,
Not just. Like,
not
that's what
just
you do.
like you have to solve crime. He's like, so I'd have to go to the Supreme Court to I would have had to fill out some paperwork to overthrow that, and that would have been pretty difficult because I'm just a detective in Baltimore. I was like, why do you have so much money? Like, I was like,
I'm just looking down your throat. It's really inflamed, and I'm just a doctor.
I'm just a doctor. Listen, I'm just a doctor from
Got the
Sarasota.
common cold.
I'm just a Sarasota, Florida doctor. What am I gonna do? Well, I have to what? To tackle your throat issue, I'm gonna have to order supplies. Okay, with whose credit card? How am I gonna do that? So let's just consider it a suicide. Like, it's crazy. It was wild.
If you give me the money up front and a phone number where I can get these things from, I could probably set that up for you.
But that's just gonna be under the table, and we can't name names, okay? Because I'm just again a doctor from Sarasota, Florida. It was wild. The detective being like, my hands were tied. I go, isn't it your job to untie the hands? What do you mean? So a cop can come to me. He goes, I asked him. He like, let's just call this guy like, what's like an 80s villain name? Blythe. I asked Blythe to come talk to me about the death of his friend in the job in the company that he owned. And he said no. He goes, I can't force him. I go, you can't? Because
yeah.
I've watched
I want him to go, my hands are tied, and then just lift up his hands and they're really tight together. He goes, my hands are tied.
It honestly should have been like that.
But my hands are tied.
I just couldn't believe that he was like,
with a tie.
He goes, I can't make anyone talk to me if they don't want to. I was like, but like, I think you can. Like, I think you can summon them. I think you can
Here's the
subpoena
thing,
them.
Jameson, you've already solved this though, right?
Yeah, Jameson, what did you think of that episode? We know you've watched it.
And we know that you already know what happened because you're
Yeah.
Jameson.
Can you give us
Ma-
can you tell us what's going on and how I can fix my bun?
You know who would suck to watch Unsolved Mysteries with? Jameson, because he would just know
Oh,
all
he'd
the
know
answers.
it.
He'd be
He'd be like, "Oh, that
yeah, this is what
97
happened."
crime from Baltimore." You know, it was really interesting though. There was a newscaster, and I was obsessed with her. She was like, "This was huge news." Okay, this was huge news.
I think you missed your calling, to be honest.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A news, but not like an anchor, a streeter for sure. Just a lady
streeter?
on the street.
Oh, I am such a lady on the street. What? What happened? Well, I can tell you, I didn't know her, but my neighbor's similar, so she did it.
You wouldn't even be the person working for the station. You would just be like the lady that was always on scene.
Yeah. He borrowed my lawnmower and never give it back.
This lady's always talking about her lawnmower. We're trying to talk about how the flood wiped
Right.
out this first few houses here.
Well, it also wiped out my lawn, and I can't fix it because I don't have my lawnmower. Jameson, aliens. It's always aliens. I mean,
he might be right.
this.
I mean, Jameson, I believe that over a doctor that just has his hands tied.
Listen, again. Okay.
Yeah.
Did I mention my hands were tied? It's actually so crazy when police are like, I had to do all this paperwork, and so I couldn't do it. He said he didn't want to talk to me. The only suspect, the only person, the owner of the company for which this man died across the street or in the building of that company. There's a gag order on the company, and they're like, and the detective that worked on the case goes at the end of the episode, he goes, what this case is going to take to solve is one person coming forward. I was like, what? How can I just didn't understand how you just can't go ask
Also,
people.
how can you put a gag order on an entire company? I don't understand how that works.
So no one was allowed to say if they saw him. They didn't have any footage. All the cameras, they couldn't access that. And
But
the owner,
I mean, like, what is the negotiation here?
sorry, can I just
I'm
can I
picturing
just
myself.
stop this for
I'm
a
working in
second?
a cubicle.
Wait, wait.
Like Fridays are my fun day.
Can I just stop this for a
and-
second? There's a woman walking by in a beautiful summer dress with 2 pizzas in the afternoon.
My wife.
My wife.
I was supposed to bring my 3 crushes today. She's all 3.
Okay, we're actually coming to the end. So can you tell me your crushes?
I didn't bring them. That's why I was hoping for the old savior, but
The savior. Oh, what were you saying? Sorry.
I don't remember.
Oh. Anyways, sneaking. Go make a friend. I've got too many. Can't even balance them. Did I?
Well, I was talking about how like okay, so I've worked in an office, and you're just like
Me too. Cool.
But great. So like, you know, and in an office, you're like, I got my one friend over here. Like, what I'm saying is, there's real life to this. So if someone, if like my boss Ray would have came up and been like, hey, you need to, there's this gag order going around. You can't talk about me like pushing this guy off the balcony.
Yeah.
I'd be like, what am I going to sign that makes me not tell anybody that? They go, well,
I know.
Here's $10 and you sign a contract. I'd be like, okay. But then once you're fired and it's 20 years later, I'd be like, yeah, Ray pushed that guy off the fucking balcony.
Yeah, like you're scared for your life for sure, but then you kind of secretly go to the cops and go, between you and I, this will happen. A full company can't be like, yeah, we saw Ray. He was like in his like home clothes and flip flops, kind of like stressed out. Like no one could say that. Clearly, it's an inside job. Clearly, and also his wife was like, what information does he know? And also Jameson had a great. I was like, who's your crush? And then Jenny came in. You're like, I don't know.
My wife walked in behind me. Yeah.
He goes, good crush
Her ears
timing
were
behind
burning
you.
for sure.
Ooh, crush. In the chat, I know we were talking about celebrity crushes, and we said we would bring it up, and we're almost near the end of the pod. So please share if you haven't shared, or if you figured out who your crush is. I am curious to know.
Here's the thing too. Like, I don't know who my wife's crush is.
You've never asked that?
I don't think so.
Huh. You should.
Yeah, maybe.
I think it'll make you sad no matter what she says, because you'll just think of what
Nah.
you're not.
Yeah, I'll be like, let's go. Man.
That's cool, man. And you just drift away in a parachute.
Who's that?
Who's that? Sorry. Oh.
Usher. Okay.
Oh. I think Serena. I don't know if Serena has messaged us before in the chat. Hello, Serena and Adam Driver. I mean,
Adam Driver
is huge in this
chat
on
was
this
just
pod.
filled with Adam Driver the other day.
If we ever, and I'm putting it out into the universe, if we ever get to chat with Adam Driver on our podcast, I'll lose my mind. Like I wouldn't even be able to do it. If you think my bun is messy now, whoo boy, the tizzy it would be with Adam Driver. Ooh,
I'd have no problem.
I don't know. We'd both be taken by him.
I'd be fine.
Serena, first time.
I'd be taken, but I think
it's Serena's first time chatting. Welcome,
Serena. Welcome.
Welcome to the chat.
Adam
Driver.
I hope we didn't scare D&D Master away. His first time chatting today too, and
we hope we didn't scare D&D Master, whose first comment was "Stacy, fix your bun." Listen, it's not the worst thing I've ever heard, and I'm certainly not offended.
Tasha, he doesn't like interviews because
he hasn't met us.
You know what? Now this is a life goal. Now we have to get Adam Driver because now it's like he doesn't like them. We gotta get him to do them.
He's maybe one of the funniest. He's one of the funniest hosts on SNL, and no one can come at me about it because it's actually accurate.
For sure.
Jameson's new crush at Michael B. Jordan. Him, and everyone else. What a gorgeous man, Michael B. Jordan. Ripped.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because he ended up like, what was that first? Was it Fruitvale that he was in originally? No, there was another movie before that. When he was very young. Oh, it's The Wire. He was in The Wire.
Yeah, he was good in The Wire.
He was great in The Wire, but in The Wire, he's a skinny little kid. And then all of a sudden he comes out, he goes, I'm fucking Creed. And you're like, what?
Creed
happened?
Was wild. Apparently he is also in Friday Night Lights, which I haven't gotten to his
season.
And I am very excited for it. Big fan here.
Oh my goodness, I have too much TV to watch. I can't even like commit.
I don't think you have any TV. I feel like I've hit the end of my TV. I'm starting Canada's Drag Race, which I'm really.
Well, you're doing Unsolved Mysteries.
Yeah, but that's going to be slow and steady because I'm still really scared.
I think that's awesome. Will you watch scary movies?
No. Right. Because I have to. Then what? I have to like live with that. It's so scary. I can't. I'm like making myself scared right now. I convinced myself yesterday that someone was going to come at me.
I wanted to ask this and see if anybody in the chat knows this. If you had to pick the one movie that was like, no, you can believe movies aren't real. You can sit there and watch it and remove yourself while you're watching it, but this movie will scare you guaranteed. I want to know what that movie is.
Oh my God, so many. There's so many.
I don't know. I have a hard time getting scared in movies.
Well, okay, here's a couple answers. So Jameson
I'm like,
said,
it's a movie. I know it's a movie as I'm sitting there.
Jameson said, who's my favorite Canada drag queen on the show? I love Priyanka. Priyanka is incredible. She does like amazing comedy. She's like does many shows with the comedy community here, or did, and like performing is unbelievable. But like she's just so witty too, and like gorgeous, and her costumes are amazing. I love Priyanka. Priyanka is so good. Yeah.
I've seen The Shining.
Dark on Netflix. It's a German show about time travel. Oh, it sounds spooky. The Shining, super scary. What else is like, okay.
I don't mean to cut away from Canada's Drag Race or Drag Queen as well, because like, do I get that down here? I don't think I do, right?
I don't know how you could watch it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love Priyanka on the show. I mean, yeah. Wonderful. Killer. But yeah, I'm trying to think of a scary movie that I think all scary movies are real. Well, I think it's
the
like the idea of
I
like
was ever sort of scared was during Blair Witch, and I didn't think I was scared. But then as like in the theater when it was nighttime, I was like, oh, I can't wait for it to be day again. I remember feeling that.
I can't wait for it to be day again. Is so the vibe.
Maybe this is that emotion.
I think there's like a lot of movies about like people watching you that you're like unaware of, and then like that happens all the time. Like so spooky. Also, what's the one movie of like The Purge? That scares me.
Yeah, I've never watched any of The Purge.
Me neither. It's just been told to me, and I was like, ooh, shiver.
This is a DeRoss movie. I can tell you the premise, The Purge, and I'll use it all the time as a reference. But
me too. I've used The Purge countless times, and you just go, mm-hmm. You know what my fear is?
The Descent. Okay, The Descent is okay. Great.
What's The Descent?
Write this down. I don't know.
Don't tell me about it. Actually, don't tell me about it. I don't want to hear about it. I can't. I simply I simply and utterly will not, cannot. No, no, no. I don't like it. Even Scream. No, Amanda, I'm the same with you. I can't. It scares me for days. Like sad, deeply depressing movies, I hold on to forever.
Oh, depressing, scary. The Descent is depressing,
No, I
scary
don't
to the
want
point where I
that.
felt sad and had to leave the theater. Okay. Maybe
What's
what
that?
am I getting myself into?
What's that movie? Scream is funny. I know, but it's still so scary off the top with Drew Barrymore. Remember when like Courtney Cox's bangs were like so crazy in that movie, and like that for some reason we don't
I don't
discuss?
think I ever saw the Scream movies.
You should.
I know.
That's like, remember when I Know What You Did Last Summer, and like Jennifer Love Hewitt and her body was like so out of control.
There's the crush.
Yeah, Jennifer Love Hewitt. Oh, you,
Because
I
saw,
love
we've
your I
talked about
love
this
your
many
Jennifer Love
times.
Hewitt story. We've heard it many times, but I love it
Many
so
times.
much.
So that's the thing. It's like I think when I see people in real life, and I'm like, oh, this real person,
Yeah, oh,
and
of
like
course.
she was also very nice and like.
I mean, we talk a
it
big
felt-
game, but if I like saw my crush in real life, I'd be like,
You know what I think I just figured out too? Like my crush. I mean, I want to know that that person is like nice and has because a personality is a huge part of attraction.
I think that's also
right?
so Canadian. Like, I think it was Mike Myers said something, which I hate to even quote because I think he's not. I mean, maybe I heard he's kind of mean, but he said that it's so Canadian because like when you meet someone famous, you're like, are they nice? Like that you need to know that. I want to know that they're nice and that they smell nice. That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think it's okay to want to know that stuff.
I feel like, you know who I think smells nice? Can have a creep? Mark Maron. I bet you he smells really nice. That's what I
Oh, I
think.
thought you were saying it because you knew this. You like worked backstage or something and was like,
No, can
"Oh,
you imagine? He's another crush of mine. Love Mark Maron. Yeah, I need to know that they're nice and
Serena
funny.
agrees.
There's nothing worse than someone who's just like not funny, and you have to be like, yeah. You know, don't you get uncomfortable when someone's not naturally funny and they can't like handle a room a little bit?
A little bit. Like, I don't mind it if it's like, oh, for my work, I'm a scientist and you're out there trying to be fun. I'm like, okay, great. It's those people that are like the bravado that walks into a room
Totally.
and then they're not nice. And
Okay.
then they're like, but check out how funny I am. And I'm like, I can't get on board with your comedy. So it's a type of comedy. I'm like, I can't get on board
I'm
with
sorry,
it.
I have to cut you off because I've always said that I felt like Mark Maron smells like patchouli, and he recently said he wears patchouli. Like I have a gift. And Jameis goes, I like the image
I
of
think
Stacey.
your gift is you've listened to podcasts where he says I wear patchouli and you just forget, but subconsciously you remember, and then you're like, I think he smells like patchouli.
I saw him once in real life. He was sitting in front of me at JFL, and he's so attractive to me that I simply and utterly couldn't handle myself. And I was just like, oh man, he's such a man. I'm into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's just take a moment. His heartbreaking. Did you listen to that podcast?
No. I have a hard. They're like scary movies, not a big deal. Like real life heartbreak, I have a hard time. I've never watched Schindler's List because I'm like, I can't. That's a real thing. Like that's fucking like terrible shit. I could never. I can't watch that kind of stuff.
I will say this. So
I just picked that movie out of like a bunch of them, but there's so many movies about like real history, and I'm like, I guess I should watch it and be like, well, because it's real, but I know what happened, and it's like, I have a hard time.
I do want to say this. Like, if you don't know what I'm talking about, so Mark Maron, his partner was her name was Lynn Shelton, and she's a filmmaker and writer and director, and she I believe producer as well, and she was like his creative partner, and she's in so many movies and worked with Mark Maron, and then they fell in love, and she tragically passed, and it's so heartbreaking, and we're really ending this podcast on a downer, but he on WTF on his podcast, which if you don't listen to it, you really should. It's really, really wonderful. But he gave a very touching tribute to her, and it's like a must listen to. You have to listen to it. Jay, you must.
Okay.
It's heartbreaking. And then what he does is he does like a tribute to her, and then he plays the episode that when she was first on the podcast and when they first met, and then like where they kind of started to have feelings for each other. And it's really
Oh,
beautiful.
that's really weird and cool.
I know I bawled.
Imagine like your I don't know what relationship this is for you, but like that relationship that sticks out of like maybe a high school sweetheart or a college love or like something that's
Mhm.
like whatever came and went, of having a recording of your first conversation that you can go back to.
Oh my God. Can I tell you? Yeah, I think about that sometimes, like how you started like my first boyfriend. I was like, how did I get a boyfriend? Like I was just like, what were like, how did that happen? Like I showed up at a party and he was like, yeah, she seems cool, and I was just like, I wasn't even in therapy then, so I was just like, like I was just out of control. Yeah, that first conversation. Yeah, first kiss. How did that happen? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah. Anyways, um, wow.
I think we did it.
We really did it. I highly recommend everyone listen to that podcast. It really like is very hard to listen to, but it's also like it's just like emotional and really beautiful, and to hear someone talk about like a very authentic love, and it's just really special and important, I think. You know?
Oh, now I've got so much homework.
Just listen to it, Jason. Just feel something.
I'll listen to it and I'll watch Unsolved Mysteries. I'm gonna see if I can find Canada Drag Race down here.
Yeah, I'll try and help you find that too. Yeah.
So many things.
So many things. I really hope that you watch Unsolved Mysteries, because like
Are you even following any of the Double Shot at Love stuff? Because I'm kind of not.
I can't. Here's the thing. I really want to, out of like the ha-has and the hee-hees about it, but it really deeply makes me sad. And it's just like not respectful, and it's just like I can't enjoy it because it's just like so brutal. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like it came back on and I was like, oh, this is gonna be all right. And I'm like, I can't even go. I can't do it.
If you're looking for something cheesy and really like reality show based, I highly recommend Selling Sunset. It's ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. The stakes aren't even real. Like you can just like kind of just enjoy some like Voodoo Lions back. Double Shot is garbage trash. Absolutely no question about it.
Yeah.
And but I think Selling Sunset's like if you're looking just for like some dumb like whatever trash. What?
Kayla right underneath. Ooh, I just got into that. Hopefully she doesn't mean double shot. I hope she means we were talking
But if you
about.
get into Double Shot, like go for it. Like, oh yeah,
No,
she's talking
is
about
not
Double.
talking about
She's
Double
talking about Selling Sunset. I'm interested to hear
Yeah.
about the divorce with Justin. Agreed. We're probably not going to get into that until August, which I feel like we'll be here in a
And
blink of an
I think
eye.
there's something else we have to get into, but maybe we can talk about it another. Well, obviously we can talk about
What?
another one. But I had this thing pop on my feed the other day. This is going to sound so terrible, but I think isn't one of the people that you follow like what's his face got into a lot of trouble? I can't remember his name, so this is killing me.
What?
Shane Dawson. Don't you follow?
Yes. We should unpack that. Okay, because
I don't know enough about it, but I just
I
saw,
know
like,
enough. I've been following.
My feed went nuts like a
I've
couple
been
days ago,
following
and I was
it.
like, oh, this is something Stacey's going to want to talk about.
Yeah. So I don't know if anyone in the chat is like into the YouTube drama. I'm totally caught up and ready to discuss. Maybe on Monday we'll break it down. Everything that's
Okay, then
going
maybe
on.
I got more homework. I gotta write
I'll
this
send you
list
some
down.
videos. It's just
The
kind
Descent.
of basically
I gotta
like
write all this down.
the
This is
biggest
killing me.
the biggest guy on YouTube who has had problematic content forever is getting shut down, and it's all very
Oh, well, then good.
intricate. It's all very intricate and strange, and it's like, you know,
You put it pretty clearly and specifically right away, so I don't know why it's muddy waters. It's like great,
right.
problematic content, a bunch of okay,
yeah,
cool, man. Stop doing it.
totally. But yeah, we can talk about all that drama on Monday. Well,
I need to
everyone,
get all of these things I have to do.
have the best week. Or weekend. We will see you on Monday. You all make our days, and
Yeah.
And just a quick little thing. Sorry about the episode from Wednesday not being up. It'll be live today. So if you're listening to this, there's 2 episodes to enjoy. Sorry about the delay, but you can get into it. Now you have 2 little things to listen to over the weekend. And if you want to watch this, if you're just listening, youtube.com/theregulars. Catch up. We're doing stuff 3 times a week. So get into it, people. We adore you all. We will see you all on Monday.
Have the best weekend.
Bye.
Bye.